Ready? Okay, so now we're gonna explain the C inspection. Checking the clearance lights on top of the trailer, making sure they are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, clean, amber in color, and working properly. Those lights indicates height and width of the trailer. So now we're gonna check on the trailer front header board. On the front header board, no cracks, dents, or any holes, and all the rivets are present and tight. And the header board is strong enough to hold the freight or the load inside the trailer. Okay, I'll play the landing gear. So now right here we're gonna check on the landing gear cross members. All the landing gear cross members are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and there's no nuts or any bolts missing. Landing gear leg is fully raised, it's properly greased. We're not missing the landing gear pad, and it's not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's properly mounted and secure. You see there's no nuts or bolts missing. Checking on the landing gear support frame. Support frame is properly welded to the bottom of the trailer, and it's not cracked, broken, bent, or damaged. Checking on the crank handle. My crank handle is properly secured where it needs to be. It shouldn't be never flopping around, and it's not cracked, broken, or damaged. It works properly. It's also well lubricated. We're gonna look at the trailer sideboard. On the trailer sideboard, there's no cracks, dents, or any holes. There's anything hanging off, and all the rivets are present and tight. And the same thing, it's strong enough to hold the freight or the load, inside my trailer. Checking on the reflector tapes, make sure they are in the properly colors, white and red, clean and visible. These tapes are required for DOTs on at least the 80% of the trailer. Right now it's 100. Now we're gonna check on the trailer side frame, which is all the side frame. All the side frame is not cracked, bent, broken, and all the rivets are present and tight. Okay. Getting underneath the trailer, we're gonna take a look on the trailer cross members. All the trailer cross members are properly mounted and secure. There's no nuts or bolts missing. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. Checking on the trailer floor, make sure the trailer floor there's no cracks, dents, or any holes, and there's no boards or metal sheets missing. Basically it's complete. Going to the very back here. Checking on the trailer frame, it's not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no illegal welding repairs or any extra drilling holes. Checking on the spring mounts. Spring mounts properly mounted and properly welded, right? Because this is not mounted, this is welded. You see my spring mounts properly welded to the frame, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's not damaged. Now this is my torque arm properly mounted and secure. No nuts or bolts missing, not cracked, bent, or broken, and this one is used for the alignment on the trailer. Checking on the leaf springs, make sure it's properly mounted and secure, not cracked or broken, not missing or shifted. No illegal welds. Checking on my U-bolts, make sure they are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, broken, or damaged. And remember, we must have 2 nuts for each U-bolt, underneath. Checking on the trailer axle, make sure the trailer axle is not cracked, bent, or broken, and there's no illegal welds. Checking on the trailer air tanks, trailer air tanks properly mounted and secure, and there's no cracks, dents, or holes. No audible air leaks, and remember we're supposed to drain them every day after work hours. Checking on the air brake hoses here. Air brake hoses properly mounted and secure. There's no abrasions, bulges, cuts. They're not pinched or frayed. There's no audible air leaks. My brake chamber is properly mounted and secure. There's no nuts or any bolts missing, and there's no cracks, dents, or holes. No audible leaks, and it is working properly. Go from behind the trailer, bro. Let's put it to the best. Push rod, brake rod. So I see my brake, my push rods and the slack adjuster are properly mounted and secure. There's no nuts, bolts, or any pins missing, and they're not cracked, bent, or broken. And when the brakes are released, no more than 1 inch of slack when you pull by hand, or otherwise, the brakes needs adjustments. So now checking on the brake pads, make sure they are properly mounted and secure, not cracked or broken. They're clean, no grease, debris, or any oil. that it can cause, brake failure, and the minimum is 1/4 thickness. Checking on the brake drums, making sure they are securely mounted. There's no cracks, dents, or holes. There's no illegal wells, and there's no rust, signs of being overheated. My inner rim is not cracked, bent, broken, and there is no illegal wells. My tire sidewall, there's no abrasions, bulges, cuts, there's no curve hits or any curve, rashes, and there's no fabric showing on the sidewall. Come back to this side. Right here, you're gonna check on that. You're gonna check on the dual tire surface. They are evenly worn out. We have the same size tires. There's no dip cut, chunks missing, or any nails. There's no thread separations, and the minimum is 2/32 of an inch of thread depth for both of my tires. Checking in between my rims, on my dual rims, we're gonna make sure there's no daylight or any gap, not cracked, bent, or broken, and there's no illegal wells. Checking in between my dual tires, we're gonna make sure there's anything stuck in the middle, like debris or any, friggin' objects, and they're not touching or dragging against each other, indicating inflation problems. So, or one of the tires can be flat, or it might need some air. Checking on my tire sidewall, minimal abrasions, bulges, cuts, no curve hits or any curve rashes, no fabric showing, rim not cracked, bent, broken, and no illegal welding repairs. Air valve stem properly mounted and secure, not cracked, no audible air leaks. Remember, pressure at least at 100 psi. Can check that with the air gauge, and it's also not touching against the rim. Lug nuts, all the lug nuts are properly mounted and secure. There's not one missing and not cracked, broken, or damaged, and there's no rust or any shaving metal indicating looseness. My wheel hub and axle seal is properly mounted and secure. There's no bolts missing. It's not cracked or broken. You see there's no oil leaks coming from the seals, and the oil must be filled to the properly level. This light right here is gonna be one of my clearance lights and parking light. You're gonna say it's properly mounted and secure, not cracked, clean, red in color, and working properly. My mud flap is properly mounted and secure. There's no nuts or bolts missing. There's no cuts or any tears. It's wide enough to cover my dual tires, and it's between 4 and 8 inches of the ground, not touching on the ground or on the tires. Checking on the DOT bumper, make sure it's properly welded to the trailer and it's not cracked, broken, or bent. Checking on the license plate, making sure it's securely mounted, it's clean and visible, and it's up to date, it's not expired. Checking on the license plate light, which is all the way on the top. Make sure it's securely mounted, not cracked, clean, works properly, and that light illuminates my plate at night time. Checking on the rear trailer lights, the two outer lights, the one from the outside, are gonna be my turning signals, four-way flashers, and tail lights, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, clean, red in color, and working properly. The two inner lights are gonna be my brake lights and tail lights as well, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, clean, red in color, and working properly. Checking on the trailer door latch, make sure it's properly mounted and secure, it's not cracked or damaged. It works, it opens and closes, and right now it's secure in the lock position. Checking on my trailer door, make sure it's fully closed and there's no cracks, dents, or holes, no rivets missing, and it works. Opens and closes freely. Over there you have the clearance lights. Again, make sure they are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, clean, red in color, and working properly. Checking on, we're gonna take a general overview on the back of the trailer. We're gonna make sure we have reflector tapes in the properly colors, white and red, clean and visible, required for DOT inspection. And then from there you go to the coupling, and then the